The 1831 college tells the story of white abolitionists and free black men of New Haven coming together to create the first black college in the United States. Abolitionists like Simeon Jocelyn, William Lloyd Garrison, come to folks like Bias Stanley and others in New Haven to create something for the United States, but more importantly, for the minorities of the United States. It takes place in 1831, and that is the year of Philadelphia's first annual convention for the people of color, the setting where black excellence is being discussed and plans for the future. It gets taken on the road now, right? Let's raise money for this. Let's get a building for this. Everything is in place. Unfortunately, the news gets very big. The news covers all media outlets in the United States to the point where it hits the mayor of New Haven's desk, and he has no choice but to call a meeting with the white property owners in town. They have this meeting at the State House, and unfortunately, it was a resounding no. 700 against, 4 in favor of the college. As quickly as it came, it left. The 700-4 decision led to white rioting. It created an unsafe space for black people in New Haven, and also for the people who voted for the college. If New Haven had decided to build this college, there's no doubt in my mind that New Haveners and people outside of New Haven would have revolted. One of the major figures in the decision for the 1831 college was David Daggett, who was a founder of the Yale Law School. He had the power to change the trajectory of black people being educated. But you have these great black leaders in New York and New Haven who come together to say, we need this to be remembered. So we're gonna compile a pamphlet that tells the entire story, that gives the news outlets, that gives the people that were involved, the people who were against it, and that was preserved. The pamphlet tells us the entire story so that we can't forget it, so that we can't negate it. And beyond everything that happened, this story was a necessary gateway to the colleges that did come. If that had not happened, if you did not have these brave, free black leaders make the decision and make the effort to create the first, who knows how much longer it would have taken for this to happen. There always has to be a first. There was a lot of bravery to create the world that we now live in. This is a New Haven story, and in fact, it actually has dictated how not only black people, but how general citizens of New Haven look at Yale. This story tells us that regardless of the hatreds, of the obstacles put in anyone's way, you're always creating a new space, a new domino in the chain effect of history. And in fact, we look at this today as a plus, because now we know how we got to the idea of an HBCU. If you ask any New Havener, it's a very sad story, but this tells us that we started it, and we are proud people that can live with the fact that we created change in America.